technisches Aufeinandertreffen. War es noch die Situation, dass er eigentlich von niemandem gekannt wurde. Selbst die niederländischen Spieler kannten ihn nicht und waren ganz überrascht, wenn er plötzlich hier auf der Bühne stand. Mal sehen, was er hier und heute zeigen wird. Ein herzliches Willkommen, Michael Plooy. Und damit kommen wir zu einem besonderen Moment hier in der Sparkassenarena. Dort unten wartet einer der erfolgreichsten Spieler überhaupt. Der 5-malige Weltmeister. Schön, dass er den Weg hier nach Jena gefunden hat. Herzlich willkommen, Barney Raymond van Barneveld.
Well, the last of our first round encounters here at the Happy Bet German Darts Masters. And we usually say in this first round that join us tomorrow because the big guns will be here. But one of the biggest guns in world darts is on the stage right now. Raymond van Barneveld about to take on his Dutch compatriot Michael Plooy, who was an unknown quantity when he turned up in Hildesheim 3 weeks ago. But he certainly let Christian Kist know how good a player he was. Went very, very close against Christian Kist, and Barney is aware of that. He mentioned it on his social media before travelling here to Jena. But we've already had Adrian Lewis. He's been knocked out. Will the other player from the PDC's top 10 in action today go the same way? Rob Malarkey.
Well, Raymond van Barneveld 8th in the order of merit at this moment in time. Michael Plooy is level tied at 139 in the world ranking. So there's just one illustration of the gulf between these two. But like you say, I think Michael Plooy will have come on leaps and bounds for that experience in Hildesheim recently at the German Darts Championship. Lost 6-5 to Christian Kist, as you said. But he took out 146 and a checkout of 160 as well to lead 3-1 in that match. But then he just seemed to maybe just get a bit carried away. He lost his way momentarily and then the damage was done. Still hit back to force at his sider. And then Kist also survived a missed match dart as well before taking out 106.
Ladies and gentlemen, first leg Raymond to throw first. Game on!
Yeah,
so he went close, yeah.
Had his chance, and well, the illustration that you put with the rankings there, you'd say that it should be pretty plain sailing for Raymond van Barneveld. Adrian Lewis, the world number 4, was knocked out, but he was knocked out by one of the most dangerous players in the first round in Daryl Gurney. And missed 3 match darts before being dispatched of. Surely Raymond van Barneveld will have way too much for his opponent.
You would have thought so.
54.
But stranger things have happened, and he's hardly made a blistering start here as he just finds his way into this opening leg. And, well, Michael Plooy could do with making the most of these blips from Raymond van Barneveld, because if he doesn't, then he won't be doing himself any favours whatsoever. Barney, by the way, 50 years old next week, so maybe a chance to celebrate his birthday in style with victory this weekend.
Well, he's 50 years old, I believe, on Thursday, and he's playing Michael van Gerwen in the Premier League now. If you've seen Michael van Gerwen's interview on the PDC social media, Michael van Gerwen, with a demon-like grin, said, "I'm going to give him a very nice present."
Van Gerwen's one of the few players in any sport who, when they make threats like that, can usually back it up by delivering exactly what they promise. Well, Barney still hasn't really got going in this opening leg.
It could be an important tournament for Raymond van Barneveld. Let's not forget, didn't make it to the European Championship last year. Tried a late surge, didn't he, but just fell short.
Yeah, he put all his eggs in one basket, didn't he, towards the end of the season. Made just one appearance on the European Tour last year. Knew his crack at the European Grand Prix was going to be his last and only opportunity. Fell just short of qualification. Might not fall short here in the opening leg, though, but, well...
Michael require 100.
Michael Plooy with a really good chance to break it.
You'd think he'd have to take these shots out if he's going to beat Barney. Double 10. And he has.
Sean, the first leg.
Ton finish in the first leg for
Second
Plooy.
leg, Michael to throw first. Game on.
Well, don't think too many people in the Sparkassen Arena would have seen that one coming. A break of throw for Plooy in the very first leg. Question is now, can he back it up? Winner to face Alan Norris in the second round tomorrow.
That's a better first start from Barney, and the second has followed suit. And there's the third.
A little bit early to say whether he's in the groove or not, but that certainly will settle him down very nicely indeed. It's a 180 against the throw as well, just to put a
58.
bit more pressure on Michael Plooy, just in case he's got any ideas of getting carried away here.
It was on the end of that brilliant performance from Adrian Lewis in Liverpool. Premier League playoff race really hotting up, so close. Between 6 or 7 players for a place at the O2. But as mentioned, the European Tour is the only way you can qualify for the European Championship, which is a big TV event. And Barney's hit 2 180s in this leg. How he would like an early run this year.
Yeah, an 11 dart break potentially on the cards here for Barney. Barney, by the way, came through UK qualifying. He was given a special dispensation to do so because of a clash with his Premier League commitments. Double 16 to level the match. Double 8s.
Game Sean,
Not a problem for Barney.
Raymond van Barneveld.
Yeah, he
Third
beats
leg, Raymond to throw first.
Luke Woodhouse 6-1, and then Darren Johnson, a man who's had a great 2017 so far, beat him 6-5. Johnson, of course, beating James Wade 6-5 in his epic encounter when he was 5-1 down in Hildesheim against the Machine.
Yeah, Darren Johnson mismatched darts against Raymond van Barneveld then as well. Now, Barney went off 180 last leg. Plooy off 140. So we've had back-to-back breaks. And Plooy has already snatched a darts off Raymond.
58.
Always difficult for Michael Plooy to maintain that early promise of the first leg break. It's all well and good, but then just to maintain that
95.
intensity to back it up against a player of Van Barneveld's quality was always going to be a tall order for him.
Just won't want to become embroiled in something he needn't be here, Raymond van Barneveld. Last on, he just want to get the job done, get back to the hotel and prepare for a clash with Norris tomorrow. And Plooy took out that 100 in the
59.
first leg. When Raymond van Barneveld went off with a max and followed with another in the next leg, he thought, right, here he goes. But Michael Plooy has a chance here to edge ahead again.
137.
You mentioned that threat by Michael Van Gerwen for the Premier League next Thursday. It was Barney who inflicted Van Gerwen's solitary defeat in the Premier League this season in Manchester.
Perhaps should have been doubled by Peter Wright.
Yep,
on Thursday.
6-all in Liverpool. Got away with that one, did MVG.
89.
7 wins, 3 draws, 1 defeat for Van Gerwen in the Premier League so far. That 1 defeat by Van Barneveld. Barney here looking to secure a 2-1 advantage. Won't go this time.
134. Michael required
he needed
40.
Treble 14 for double top. That's the target that Plooy finds, and he breaks
Michael
again.
Plooy, full flag, Michael to throw first. Game on.
Barney unable to hold as yet. If Plooy can do it now, they'll get a bit of daylight, and this is starting to get interesting.
It is indeed. 3 successive breaks of throw.
39.
And already Barney fans hoping for an opportunity here to break back straight away after that sluggish start by Plooy.
Michael Van Gerwen, who we've been talking about, joins the action tomorrow. He'll take on John Michael, who we just saw finally get over the line against Robert Marjanovic.
60.
Peter Wright, who won the first European Tour event of the year, is also one of the 16 seeds, joining the action tomorrow. So tune in
60.
for an exciting day of darts, which will be concluded on Easter Monday.
Barney making his first European Tour appearance of the year. He lost in the final round of qualifying for the German Darts Championship, beaten by John Bowles in that one. Again, he was given dispensation to play in the UK qualifiers, given his Premier League commitments. So he was unable to take part in the European qualifier because of that clash.
Well, it's only fair if he physically can't play in it because he's playing in the Premier League. I'll tell you what, he could be in a spot of bother.
Yeah, Michael Plooy rattling in a ton 80 to get down to a finish of 142. Well, he's not short of confidence this evening, Michael Plooy.
Raymond's left. His signature
42.
shot.
Raymond, you require 156.
Boy, how he'd love to see this go in. Not going to happen, and Plooy, who's already taken out a ton, very first leg.
60. Michael require
If he does it again, he'd be 2 legs clear of the 5-time world champion.
Double 10 then.
80. Raymond, you require 96.
So this for a 4th successive break of throw in the match, and to level things up once again at 2 apiece. No, it won't be this time either. 56. You can see the reaction on the face of Van Barneveld there.
But he was still shrugging one arm when he was throwing with the other one there.
That's not far away, just nudging the wire.
Yeah, but it may have made it awkward. Now he's got a clear shot. At double 5, and he beds it. And he does hold his throw, and he does move 2 legs clear. And he's halfway to a famous victory.
Yeah, first hold of throw in this match, and what a way to bring down the curtain on the first day of the German Darts Masters this would be. All the talk at the start of play today about the appearance of Adrian Lewis and Raymond van Barneveld, and yet we may have a situation 85. At the end of the day whereby neither is involved tomorrow. Lewis already on his way home. Van Barneveld not quite on his way home just yet, but with work to do here.
141.
Hasn't been able to hold yet. And if he doesn't manage it in this leg,
43.
He'll be starting to get that sinking feeling. This, incidentally, the 40th staging of a European Tour event in its current incarnation. 19 different winners since it was formed as we currently know it back in 2012.
79.
Raymond van Barneveld amongst them, just the one.
And again, the facial expression of Barney tells its own story
93.
Here. Recovers to an extent with that final darts. No particular damage done here for Plooy if he does lose this leg on the Barney throat.
100. Raymond, you require
he's got 6 darts to hold.
Can't afford any slip-ups here, Barney.
99.
And you'd fancy him from here to finish this one off. For his first hold of throw.
84.
His usual MO is 18. 32. Well, 16 left. And
Game
lands it.
on the 5th leg.
Could prove very, very crucial.
Michael to throw first. Game on.
You analysed the
100.
Christian Kiss match 3 weeks ago from Hildesheimer's Plooy, making a run for it at the start and then losing his way in the middle and then coming back at the end, and maybe it could be a similar thing.
It may well follow a similar pattern here, but as I said, the point was I think that match will have done in the world of good in terms of getting that European Tour experience, a relatively big stage for him as well. Okay, it's a very different proposition here, facing Barney as opposed to facing Christian Kiss, but you have to say he's not showing any signs of nerves so far. He's acquitted himself very well so far. But it's when it gets down to the business end of things, that's when we'll see the real examination of Michael Plooy.
Well, he seemed to come from nowhere, didn't he? And he appeared at the qualifiers, made it to both the events that he attempted to
41.
qualify for, and then gave Christian Kist a real scare. And he's got Barney under the cosh a little, although Raymond van Barneveld making a move now.
180.
As he looks to wrestle back control.
Yeah, Plooy led Kist at 3-1, then trailed 5-3. Barney would like to set up a similar position here.
Raymond, you require 81.
So another chance for Barney to break for a second time in this match. Looking at double 12.
Game
And there we go.
Sixth leg. Raymond van
Barney's back in
Barneveld.
business.
Seventh leg, Raymond to throw first. Game on.
2 breaks apiece, 2 holes apiece, 3 apiece. And if you had a golden coin in your hand right now, you'd have to put it on Barney.
Well, that was an 11-dart leg.
70.
But that was another sluggish start from Van Barneveld.
He hasn't led in the match yet.
45.
Goes unpunished. So
70 and 60 so far for Barney here. Can Plooy capitalise on this?
Just perhaps has that air of lethargy that we sometimes see
100.
in Raymond van Barneveld. Last on, it's going to be a slightly late finish, but around the scheduled time that you would expect to play.
So he could have planned accordingly anyway, given the fact the schedule was released last night. He's been building his day around this moment, knowing exactly when to arrive and how to organise his day.
Over this format, it's not often that you're much later than you're expected to play. Often, sometimes earlier if the games before go 6-0, 6-1. We did have one fairly long contest earlier on.
Well, we said at the point, didn't we, that so when Seatman was playing Gilding, it must have been very difficult for Baxter and Anderson to sort of keep themselves fully focused, because they would have been detained a lot longer than perhaps they might have expected to be. Anyway, Barney here looking to get his nose in front for the first time in this match. Tops then to do just that. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant from Barney. It's 3 legs on the spin. He leads 4-3. It's a 1-4-5 checkout. And you have to say normal service is being resumed here now, Chris.
An 11-dart break, followed by a 1-4-5 checkout.
60.
He has to win it though, doesn't he? Can't just go through the motions.
60.
And you suspect with Barney as well, if he does come through this, and I think he will, I think he'll be a lot more convincing tomorrow, although it will be a much tougher assignment for him.
Well, he often plays his best darts against the best in the world. You've mentioned he's the man to beat MVG in the Premier League. Threw everything at him in the semi-final of the World Championship. Didn't get near him with 110 average.
Yeah.
99.
Such an impressive CV for Barney throughout his illustrious career.
Well, this is impressive.
140.
Well, don't stay there.
131. Raymond require 164.
Wouldn't put it past him right now. First part of the equation.
Well, why not?
132.
Well, he's closing in now, and you feel this has to go for Plooy. 18 for tops. Big dart this, just to stop Van Barneveld in his tracks.
51.
And it's
Raymond, you require
almost an inch
32.
below the wire. And Barney, well, 3 cracks at double 16.
You wouldn't think Plooy would be back in this leg. Double 8. Oh, now he's hoping.
24.
3 missed darts at doubles there.
20.
Well, he's been handed a moment of fortune. The misses from Barney. Plooy needs to punish. Has to. And has not.
Took a big step over to the left-hand side there. Not quite sure it warranted that much of a a change of approach, but Plooy will be the best judge of that. Anyway, Barney for double 4, now double 2. That was some way inside as well. Anxious times these for Barney fans. And he's in the madhouse.
Michael required 10.
Well,
game shot in the 8th leg. Michael
Plooy gets there, and he is still, despite that shift in momentum from Barney, Michael Plooy is still very much involved in this match. We're down to a best-of-3 encounter effectively now.
135.
He was gifted that leg by Raymond van Barneveld, who has become embroiled in something that he needn't have been. And look at this from Plooy. Look at it.
Just a bark of aggression there from Plooy as he went up to retrieve his darts as well. All of a sudden, Barney is just beginning to feel a bit hot under his collar. But Barney responding as only Barney can sometimes with a 180 of his own. How stylish and how cool is that? Just never looked flustered, did he? Absolutely brilliant from Barney.
What a response, and it's kind of seemingly knocked a bit of the stuffing out of his opponent. We talked about Adrian Lewis being the type of player earlier that can pull out a big shot when he needs to, and he did. Raymond van Barneveld looking again at 11 darts to 46 after 9, having seen his opponent go off with a match.
91. Raymond required 46.
Well, Plooy's left himself the biggest of the lot. He might not get an opportunity. Double 16. Fairly ironic that Barney takes it out at the first time of asking. He missed double 16, double 8 and double 4 in the previous leg. But he gets his nose in front once again at 5-4. Could have been home and hosed already had he not missed those doubles in the 8th leg, but he's in control once again here.
Well, now he wishes
83
that he'd done the 180 on his own throw. Michael Plooy, but all credit to him. Twice he's come up against
77
big names in Dutch darts. And twice he's given them a really good game.
It certainly bodes well for him.
59.
If he can just make a habit of qualifying for this sort of thing. I'm sure his opportunity to win a European Tour match will come along sooner rather than later. It may not be today, though.
25.
Yeah, he seems to be in a position now where he needs a big score.
Yeah, otherwise, well, if he doesn't get a treble here, Barney's effectively stolen the darts.
93.
Well, he's got 1.
They're only 33 in front. But Barney won't be on an out shot.
97.
So this leg's still in the balance.
And you know what? If Plooy can take it to a decider, suddenly the questions will be asked of Barney
44.
once again, but he needed more than that.
Yeah, that chance is slipping away now.
Barney's in control again here. Still could do with at least 1 treble. There's 1. Another one would be more than welcome as well.
105.
He's switched to the bullseye instead, which is sensible.
He has a 2-darter now. If he'd have stayed aiming at the treble and hit the single, he would have left 102.
85.
So 57, double top for the match.
And a chance here for Barney
Game
to seal it at the first time of asking.
Barneveld.
And although Barney was given a bit of a workout there by Michael Plooy, it is the 5-time world champion who goes through to face Alan Norris in the second round tomorrow. Certainly, Barney will appreciate the examination he was given there. But also he'll be relieved that he is through and still involved this weekend. After all, Adrian Lewis, another world champion, isn't. But Barney has avoided the pitfalls there. Credit to Plooy once again, though. I'm sure we'll see him again this year on the European Tour. We'll definitely see Barney tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll see you lot tomorrow as well. Quick word with Barney on stage with Mark Polka. We'll do it all again tomorrow from 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when the afternoon session gets underway on Easter Sunday for day 2 of the German Darts Masters here at the Sparkassen Arena in Jena.
It's a long day, isn't it?
It's not only today. Yesterday I flew back from Liverpool, Premier League. I woke up at 4 a.m. in the morning, 5 past 6, a flight back to Holland. 10:30 I was at home, and then I have a 2-3 hours sleep. and then 7 hours to here. So I try to do my best, but sometimes your body says, I'm tired. Practicing tonight, 3 hours, 4 hours, and I feel well. And when I come up stage, I feel exhausted. I feel so tired. Every time my darts were below the treble 20 or too high, and then you're searching, and then suddenly another darter, and then bad, 11 darter. This game is so weird, pal. This game is so weird, and of course I'm happy to go through, but it was a battle, yeah.
But the season, this whole year 2017 is going really well. It's a pleasure to see you playing in Premier League. That's great stuff.
I'm struggling with my eyes. You know, my eyes are getting bad from the World Championships. From the game I was playing Phil Taylor in the Premier League, my eyes were really bad. As soon as you start wearing the glasses, it's all getting worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Every day you focus like this. I can't see it, and then you take the glasses. And
2,000 people over there, yeah?
I only see 500. I'm still here, mate. I'm still here, but I'm trying to do my best. I'm happy with the win, of course, but my game has to improve tomorrow night against Alan Norris because he's a class player, and hopefully I can give the crowd a better game tomorrow night.
It's good to have you here. Thank you very much. Raymond van Barneveld.